here, the Scrapbooking Photographer. Welcome to my channel and thanks for stopping by. Today we are taking part in the second hop for the Layout Library, and the topic for this month is motherhood. So to do my page, I am using the sketch from the 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And today's sketch is this one, which was designed by Brandi Jo from Scrappy Boy Mama. And you can check her out on YouTube as well. I'll link her down below. So to do my motherhood page, I've got some photos of my mother. They were bigger than this. I've trimmed them down so that they fit into the page. And these were taken on a day when Mum got all dressed up for me because I needed to take some photos and practice some indoor photography. And so she got dressed up and they had an afternoon tea party with her and her neighbour. So she made some beautiful lamingtons, and this is typically my mum in the kitchen cooking. Lovely smile, she loved blue, she had lovely blue eyes, and enjoying the spoils of her time in the kitchen on the right. So those are basically the photos. Now, paper-wise, I've chosen Serene Love from Stampin Up. And there is that nice geometric shape on the back of this one. So I'm going to use the back of that one and the front of that one for the two lines. But before I do that, I want to add a little bit of bling to the back. So I've got out my trusty gloss spray mixed media, shake that till it rattles and rolls, and I'll get my splash box out. Once the page is nice and safely in my splash box, I can flick some of this gold glint on. What is it? Gold gilt in various places, mainly up the top and down the bottom where it's going to show in between the photos and the papers. And that has some good sized drops today, and it will bring a little bit of that sort of colour into the embellishments when we get there as well. So I do want it sort of scattered around the place. Right, I'll just pop that over to dry. You'll notice in the sketch we've got a couple of different sizes of strips of paper. I think the geometric one in between the photos and the top of the florals is the way to go. So I'm going to trim a wider one and a narrow one of that, and then a couple of narrow ones of this, about an inch wide. That gilt is just about dry. Doesn't take long to dry at all. So let's see what the pictures look like on there. Now, I did think about putting mats behind the pictures, but I don't think I'm going to, because I think the gold is probably enough, particularly by the time we get the extra little triangles and things in. Yeah, so I think that's kind of what we'll do, and we'll move her down just a fraction. And then we've got the stamp to bring in. Now on the sketch there's a couple of little things here, and I thought they might go quite well just to break up those corners. I'm actually going to use the Grow with Love stamp here. So I'll get that on a block and we'll come back and stamp it in a couple of places. Night of Navy is the main colour here, so that's the ink we're going to use. I'll bring in a little bit of sponge in the background, and the key will be getting it in the right spot. So I'm thinking I'll go that way. So I want it there. So I've got the sponge underneath to make it a little bit easier to make the stamp work. And let's move it over here and keep an eye on where that is. Now these stamps have great detail in them. Okay, now we've got the other one in the right place, so we might be able to go just down here as well. Having moved the sponge underneath. Right, clean that up. Then we'll bring the photos in again. And that's pretty much what we wanted. Now in the diagram that Brandi Jo has done, we have triangles coming in here. So to make the little triangles, I'm going to make some in different colours. And I just thought I'd show you quickly the process that I'm going through. I think 1.5 inch squares is the way to start. So I've got some scrap Night of Navy from Stampin Up, and I'll just make 2 squares that are 1.5 inches square. Then I'm going to put the opposite corners on the diagonal on the track and holding them in place with the blade sort of halfway so that I can press down and go up and down, and that saves messing up the corners. It's good to go out to the corners rather than come in from the side. So I'll do the same with this one. The middle, up and down, and that gives us 4. I don't think we need 4 that colour, but I'll make a couple of gold ones and possibly a couple of white ones or a lighter blue. I'll have a look, but I'll make the white ones and then decide another colour and then show you what we come up with. I've done some white, but I think we might actually use the vellum. So let's have a look at these different shapes. I like the blue and the gold, and I do like the vellum. And I think if we kind of put those together, something like that, and then down the bottom we'll do the same, gold, blue and vellum. We'll keep them going that way so that those are going into the page and these are coming in this way, and just cross them over a little bit there. And then what I thought we'd do, just to add a little extra, is have a wee small flower, and we'll have a little blue dot in the middle. And the way I'm going to make that is just with this little hole punch I've got here out of the Night of Navy. There we go, and we'll just pop that in the middle. Right, so I can stick those down and then we'll do the title. I'll stick those down and I'll just put a tiny little dot of glue in the middle of the gold ones for the little blue centres. And you could also do those with glue dots, I suppose, but I don't have any of them currently. Okay, so then we want the title down here. Now, in the sketch, we've got a small word and a big word and then some little words. So what I thought I might do is just kind of put it along here with 3 different sorts of font. We'll have my, mum, and then a little bit of journaling. So I'm going with 3 different fonts, as I mentioned. So mum is going to be this alphabet from Close to My Heart. And then I've got these tall letters from Stampin Up that I can use there that fit nicely in that gap. And then I'll just handwrite it down the bottom here. I'm going to cut them all out in Night of Navy. Now I do like, with Stampin Up, the difference in the cardstock. So the solid cardstock, which comes as an A4, is great for die cutting of these alphabets and different things, because it means we don't have to go around the outside with the colour. We don't have the white core to deal with, and it's the same on both sides. So I really like that about these different cardstocks, and it's nice to have the choice, because in other situations I really like the white core, like when you're paper tearing or something like that. So they both have a purpose. So I'll just pop these through. I quite like the way the word my is going to be in big letters, because she was my mum. She was also mum to my brothers, but she was my mum, and a very special lady. So we've got my, and then we've got mum. We need one more M, and then we'll be right. So I'll go and cut that, and I'll be back in a jiffy. Okay, so I have gone ahead and stuck those down. So I've got my mum and a little bit of journaling down here, and I'm just going to put a couple of little gold sequins at different spots along the top and the bottom, just to bring in that gold feeling all the way through that we've had. Three at the top and one down the bottom. That will do. So there is my page for Motherhood for the layout library, and also for day 25 of 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life for this series. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that. It's a nice simple sketch. Thank you very much, Brandi Jo, for putting that together. Really cool to work with, and I love the way it turned out. Thanks very much, everybody, and happy crafting.